Hi there.
Hi, Shanila.
Hey there.
Hey, sorry about that. How
Are
are
you
you?
able to make me a host here?
Let's see. I just made you a panelist. You should be there now.
No, put that motherfucker over tomorrow, Jack. I'm gonna put it on the table. I plan to see, close that bitch. Let's go. All right, guys.
All right, friends, I hope you can hear me. Thank you for waiting. Technology. Full moon, blame it on something astrological. But thank you for joining me for Fem House Flow Breathwork for Creatives. I'm Shanila Sattar, and we are going to be going into a quick and easy breathwork session tonight. We'll be limited on time. I'm flying to Peru, so I gotta make sure that we're on time today. But essentially, if you've never done breath work, it's a practice that allows you to rest and ground and integrate anything within yourself that is preventing you from your creative endeavors. And you're welcome to type it into the chat if you're somebody who's like, yeah, I actually feel like there's some things that are coming up for me in terms of my creativity, whether you're an artist or a DJ or a producer, or you're somebody who's like generally in like the creative space. A lot of us deal with things like perfectionism, we deal with imposter syndrome, we deal with a little procrastination energy. We have all of these kind of, psychosomatic things that come up. And essentially what flow breathwork does, it allows you to get to the root of what is preventing you from doing the things that you want to do. Okay. So many of the times when we're experiencing any kind of limitations, whether it's a mental limitation or a physical limitation, or like an emotional limitation, what our body does is that it wants to either go into overdrive where it overcompensate by doing too much, acting on all the things, and feeling like taking more action is like the right thing to do, or it does the opposite. It goes into underactivation where we tend to shut down. We feel like there's no like motivation, we're procrastinating, we feel like we're kind of taking rest, but our body isn't necessarily resting at that time. So a lot of different things that happen in your nervous system when you're experiencing this hyperactivation or this hypoactivation is what it does. It dysregulates your nervous system. And on a long story short scale, a dysregulated nervous system makes you feel like you have these narratives that are always running in the background anytime that you're trying to do a creative project. So as soon as you start, you feel like it's not good enough, or it has to be perfect, or you need to know all the information before you can even begin. You need to know everything about Ableton before you can touch and like make one song or one beat. You need to know there's this like need to control kind of energy when you're in this hyperdrive. And on the opposite end, when you're in this hyperdrive, what happens, hyperdrive and hypodrive, is what happens is that your body goes into shutdown. It feels helpless. There's kind of this like victim energy. There's this like this lack of motivation, this part of you that doesn't feel like everything feels like it's harder to do, harder to move, harder to motivate. And most of us are ping pongers. We go up and down and up and down and up and down. We're in this like all or nothing kind of energy, and predictably what happens is that we burn out, or we're in this shutdown energy where we feel like it's just really hard to be motivated and hard to do things. So in this practice today, what we're doing is breath work, which is a way to actually activate your nervous system to a point where it goes into a trigger state. So there's breathing techniques that are for rest, calm, relaxation, like the cute stuff. There, I wrote an entire book about it. You can read it. It's called Breathe. But when you're going into a breathwork practice, what you're doing is I'm actually going to bring stuff to the surface. I'm going to bring the emotions that I'm avoiding to the surface. I'm going to bring the fear, the shadows, the parts of me that doesn't really want to like face, like what is actually in the way of my creativity and my fear of being seen, or my fear of being judged, or my fear of being rejected. I'm going to go into the real shit of it all. So your body might in this practice reject that. It might say like, ah, no, I just want to blame it on like I'm an imposter or I am this or that. Like it's nicer and easier to kind of like point the fingers outside of yourself. But when we're learning to regulate our nervous system specifically for being in a creative flow, your body actually wants to be able to address the real root of the problem. So the real root is four very predictable things, and we won't go into it today. We won't have time, but essentially, it's the abandonment of self. It is the neglect, it is the trust, and it is guilt. These four core wounds run all of your survival programming. Okay. So I'll give you instructions on how to do this breath work, but just a quick little intro about myself. Hello, I'm Shanila Sattar. I'm the founder of Flow Breathwork Facilitator Training, where I train breathwork facilitators. I'm an author of a book called Breathe. I host a top ranked podcast called The Playground. I'm a DJ, I'm a producer. I'm a dancer, I'm an auntie, I'm many different things as you are as well. And part of my creative endeavors has been really being aligned with the things that I want to do versus the things that I feel like I have to do. And part of navigating things like perfectionism and imposter syndrome, specifically for creatives, is really about understanding what core wound are you functioning from, and are you doing some things to passively, like, look past it, or are you taking the time to look into those shadows? So in this practice, what we're going to be doing is breathing in and out through the mouth the whole time. And what you'll do is you'll be in a seated position. And if you're somebody who's done breath work before, you're welcome to, pick a different different way to arrange your body. Laying is good. And if you are laying, then you want to be as flat as possible without any crunching in the neck. But I'm going to be guiding this in a seated way. And what you're going to be doing is breathing in and out through the mouth the whole time. The first breath you take in, you breathe into your belly. Okay. So you might try that by placing your hands there. And essentially, what you do is you breathe out. Okay. So when you breathe in, your belly actually goes out. Like if you're thinking about yourself as a balloon that you're filling up with air, you're going to be filling up with air in the stomach. The second part of the breath without exhaling is you're going to take it up into your chest. So it'll sound like this: belly, chest, and then you'll exhale all through the mouth like this. Exhale all through the mouth. So a three-part breath: belly, chest, exhale. You might actually even bring your body with you. You might circulate your hips, you might circulate your body. You might even start to find that this three-part breath actually becomes a one-part breath. Depending on how long you've been doing breath work, there might be some resistance in different parts of your body. So something to keep an eye out for when you're doing flow breath work is, one, you might get something called tetany, which is this tingling sensations that happen in your face, your fingers, your feet. And basically, what's happening, the amount of oxygen you're taking into your body isn't equivalent to the carbon dioxide that's leaving. So it collects in the extremities of your body. So your fingers, your feet, your top of the head, the nose, the lips, that's essentially where it collects. Now, you might also get a really busy mind. Your body might want to dissociate. And like I said, there's a difference between doing breathing techniques that are just like, let's rest and react, relax and regulate in that way. What we're doing is a breath work practice, which is actually curated to trigger the nervous system. So you learn how to regulate it for long-term comfort, okay, or long-term regulation. So as we get into this, you're going to take a nice deep breath. And I am kind of like speeding through everything because of our time together. But go ahead and take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And go ahead and exhale through the mouth. Take a nice deep breath. Exhale. Beautiful. Try that again. Inhale in through the nose. Big deep breath in. And exhale through the mouth. Big deep breath. Exhale. Try that a couple more times. Inhaling in through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Let go. One more time. Inhale in through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Beautiful. Now go ahead and close down your eyes if that feels comfortable to you. And as you do so, just begin to arrive in this place, arrive in your body, arrive with your energy. Noticing the thoughts that are floating through your mind, breathing in and out however it feels right to you. Excellent. Noticing the thoughts that are floating through your mind. Say yes, thoughts, thank you, thoughts. Come back to your breath, breathing in through the nose and out to the mouth. In through the nose and out to the mouth. And as you keep breathing in and out, in through the nose and out through the mouth, notice your relationship with your creativity in this season. Perhaps you're extra excited. Perhaps you're in the zone, you're in flow. Perhaps there's some narratives that have been coming up for you. And as you're breathing in and out, however it feels right to you, see if there's a part of your body that's activated when you're tapped into this idea of whatever narrative you have around your creativity right now. Excellent. Now taking a deep breath into the nose and exhale out the mouth, let go. Inhale in through the nose and exhale, let go. Last one in through the nose and exhale, let go. So our practice will be without music today, but you'll be able to keep your pace and rhythm by following the guides and guidelines of my voice. So as you take a deep breath in through your mouth into the belly, into the chest, exhale through the mouth. We're going to start to come into a pace. Belly, chest, exhale. Belly, chest, exhale. Belly, chest, exhale. Keep at that pace. Belly, chest, exhale. Belly, chest, exhale. Belly, chest, exhale. Belly, chest, exhale. Stay at that pace, taking deep breaths in through your mouth, into your belly, filling up your belly all the way, filling up your chest all the way, and exhaling fully and completely on those exhales. And something you might notice is that there might be some resistance in taking a deep breath into your belly. Perhaps your hips are in the way. Perhaps you start to circulate through the hips to say, how is it that I can allow more breath to come into my lower body? Because our emotions, energy and motion, collect at different parts of our body for everybody. So if there's some fear narrative you've been navigating, the fear of being seen, the fear of being experienced, the fear of being perceived, feeling cringy for trying. All of those emotions actually collect in a certain part of your body. So as you're breathing in through the mouth, into your belly, into your chest, and exhaling fully all the way, perhaps you notice there's a part of your body that doesn't want to take this breath. And that's okay. You can acknowledge that part and take it off the hook, or you can say, hey, what would it be like for me to take a deeper breath into my groin, into my pelvis, into my waist, into my lower back, into my belly? And then when I exhale, I'm fully allowing myself to release and let go. Belly, chest, exhale, belly, chest, exhale. Beautiful. Short and sweet practice today. So no worries about pacing yourself or wondering if you're doing it right. If you're breathing in through the mouth, into the belly, into the chest, and fully exhaling, your body's going to guide the breath exactly where it needs to go. Now, perhaps the resistance isn't physical. Maybe you notice that there's an emotion that says, I don't know what I'll discover if I fully allow myself to surrender into the breath. Belly, chest, exhale, belly, chest, exhale, belly, chest, exhale, belly, chest, exhale, belly, chest, exhale. Good. As you're staying in this pace, staying in this rhythm, perhaps you start to notice there's a busy mind. Am I doing this right? How do I fix this? What's next? That's part of why you're training your nervous system. So practice staying present with your breath. There's nothing to type. There's nothing to ask. There's nothing to wonder. There's no instructions that were not given to you. It is just breathing in through the mouth, into the belly, into the chest, and exhaling. And perhaps you notice the resistance is not physical, it's not emotional, but it's mental. And perhaps that's what you struggle with when you do your creative endeavors. Perhaps you have all the skill sets, you have the years of practice and the mastery, but there's a mentality, a story, a narrative that comes up for you that says, am I doing this right? I'm questioning my intuition. I need all the answers. I need it to be perfect. I'm wondering if I'm good enough. And the more that you entertain that, the more it takes you away from your flow. Then you start to find yourself forcing rather than flowing. So as you're breathing in through the mouth, there's simple directions in through the mouth, into the belly, into the chest, and exhale. Let's start back up. Breath in through the mouth, into the belly, chest, exhale. Good. Belly, chest, exhale. Belly, chest, exhale. Belly, chest, exhale. Good. Belly, chest, exhale. Stay in that rhythm even if you don't hear me instruct it. I know we're without music today, so count on your own breath to be able to guide that rhythm, this consistent rhythm. Because part of training your nervous system to be a regulated nervous system is to get through the discomfort of regulating your nervous system. Because if it's addicted to chaos, if it's addicted to panic, if it's addicted to imperfecting thoughts, if it's addicted to imposter syndrome, it's going to seek that. It's going to say, I don't want to face these parts of me. I don't want to face that maybe I'm giving away my power. I don't want to face the parts of me that is in victim mentality. Perhaps it's easier to say I can't, or I don't have, or I'm not good enough, or now is not the right time. But part of training your nervous system is to say, is that real? Is that true? Is that like factually, objectively true? Or are you attaching your wounds to this narrative? Is the part of you that's ready but it fears being perceived. What does it mean for you to step into your creativity this way? What does it mean for you to allow yourself to see yourself this way? Belly, chest, exhale. Belly, chest, exhale. Belly, chest, exhale. Belly, chest, exhale. Good. Keep at that rhythm, keep at that pace while I'll let you know that tinglings and sensations and emotions coming to the surface is step one of regulating your nervous system. And when we're wanting to create flow in our lives, when we want to have energy that is guiding us naturally, when we don't want to feel distracted by what other people are doing, we don't want to feel the comparison of, am I doing the right thing? When we want to lead our own way from our own intuition, we want to be in a flow state. But when we've grown up in survival or we're used to survival, our body's hyper activated. We feel like we need to do, we need to fix, we live in chaos. We're kind of addicted to it. So when we calm and rest our nervous system from chaos, our body says, where's the problem? I'm looking for the problem. I'm too bored. There's no problems to fix. I'm looking for a problem. So as your body, your breath is calming, connecting, and perhaps this is not calming for you at all, everybody's body is going to regulate differently. Allow those emotions to come to the surface, knowing that emotions are just energy in motion, and all they want to do is have a space to exist. So if you're suppressing it and you're sweeping it under the rug, or you're acting like it doesn't exist and you're bypassing it, it doesn't have a safe space to be. And in fact, your body might not be a safe space to experience those emotions because all you do is bully them when they come. So as you're creating safety within yourself, create safety in your head as well. How do I fight the resistance? Breathing. How do I fight the emotions? Breathing. The instructions were given. Breathe in through the mouth, into the belly, into the chest, and exhale. Belly, chest, exhale. Belly, chest, exhale. Belly, chest, exhale. Now go ahead and take a nice deep breath in through your mouth, filling up your belly all the way in, all the way. Beautiful. Pull this breath up all the way into your chest. Hold this. Hold. Noticing that your body might want to panic, but you're not suffocating. But this is what you're training your body to do to be able to deal with discomfort when things that are uncomfortable come your way in your path to creativity. Hold. No panic. Hold. And now, like you're blowing out of a tiny little straw, exhale through your mouth like you're blowing out as much as possible, all the way down. Exhale all the way down. Beautiful. Try that again. In through the mouth, in through the mouth, into the belly, into the chest. Pull this breath all the way up through your face to the top of your head and hold here. No breath needed. No breath needed. Hold, hold. No breath needed. Hold. See if you can unclench something about yourself, whether it's your face or your teeth, whether it's your shoulders, your heart, your belly, the organs. Maybe it's your groin. See if you can unclench that. Beautiful. Now, exhaling through your mouth like you're blowing out a tiny little straw, taking a full 20 seconds to exhale. No rush. 18, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Deep breath in through your mouth, into the belly, into the chest, Pull this breath all the way up to the top of your head and hold here. We're doing something actually a pretty little advanced because part of regulating your nervous system is also about having the capacity to increase what your nervous system can do. So as you're holding this energy at the top of your head, you're navigating the fact that your body is panicking. So calm your mind as you're holding this energy. Calm your breath as you're holding this energy. Calm your heartbeat as you hold. Unclench something about yourself. Let go. Exhale when you're ready through your mouth. Full 10 seconds this time. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. At the bottom now, no breath needed. We're going to hold here. No breath needed. Again, see if there's something unclenchable about you. Your belly can relax, let it hang. Your shoulders can relax, let your chest, your heart, let your guard down here. And your body might really reject that idea. Letting my guard down, what the heck do you mean? But try as you hold here. No breath needed. Unclench your face. Relax your shoulders. Drop your hips. Deep breath in through the mouth, into your belly, into your chest. Pull this breath up all the way to the top of your head. We're going to just hold for 10 seconds here. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale through your mouth. Nice big sound. This time, as you inhale in through the nose, breathe in all the way. You feel that this feels a little bit different, and exhale, making a sound through your mouth. You can squeeze your body if that feels nice. You can round your back as you exhale all the way. We'll do that 2 more times, inhaling in all the way up, and exhale, squeeze all the way down. Big deep breath in, bringing this breath all the way up. And exhale through your mouth. Good. Now, gently start to come back into your natural breath. We're actually still in this practice, and the juicy stuff kind of happens right now as all the energies start to settle. And as you're coming back to your breath, in and out, however it feels nice, preferably breathing in and out through the nose, but use your mouth if you're stuffed up. But noticing how your body's navigating right now. Still unclenching your teeth if possible. Relax your forehead, unscrunch your face. Still allowing yourself to take those deep belly and chest breaths, but just through your nose this time. And in fact, this is how your body wants to breathe. You have a diaphragm in your stomach. So when you breathe and you clench into your shoulders, there's no lungs or diaphragms in your shoulders. So as you notice, there's more capacity for your stomach to breathe and your belly to expand, your heart to open. You'll also start to notice that this is your natural breath state. So, in terms of your creativity, perhaps you notice when you pursue something or do something or create something, you're literally just holding your breath. And what that does, it triggers your body into believing that you're suffocating. Suffocation is a survival state. So just by unclenching your stomach, just by allowing the capacity of your nervous system, your cells, your nerves in your body to be able to expand, and perhaps you weren't able to expand fully. You knew that there was more to be done, but something was clenching. This is a continuous practice in order for you to be able to learn how to do that. So, as you're just recognizing, wow, my breath comes deeper into my lower back as I breathe through my nose. My breath is able to go to the sides of my rib cage as I pull this breath up. Maybe I'm not rushing to take the breath. Perhaps I am not rushing to exhale because breathing is both inhaling and exhaling. Perhaps I'm finding a little bit more comfort in the presence. I'm not questioning right now, I just am. I'm not wondering right now, I just am. I'm not trying something, I just am. And the way that my body is supporting me to be is actually my natural state of being. I don't want to be panicked all the time. I don't want to be thinking and wondering and overanalyzing. I don't want to be acting from my wound. I just want to be. I want to do. I want to create. I want to have fun. Simple. So as you breathe in through the nose one last time with me, inhale. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Make some sound. In through the nose. Exhale. Last one in through the nose. And exhale. Beautiful job, friends. So as you come back to your natural breath, go ahead and wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, take a nice stretch up and around. Watch out for neighbors and kitties. Watch out for water bottles with stretching in whatever way feels good, moving side to side. And just knowing that all this energy, as subtle as our practice was today, we didn't get to do a full breathwork practice, but as subtle as our practice was today, you're going to start to feel a little bit difference in your nervous system throughout the rest of the day. So drink a ton of water. See if anything comes up for you that is emotional in the next few days. And today's a full moon too, full moon in Scorpio. So a lot of emotional energy, wave energy coming to the surface. And see if there's things that you avoid about yourself that is the culprit to the things that you actually want to do. So there's, navigating like facing it head on and also like facing it slowly. And wherever it is that you are, allow your breath to guide you with that. So as you gently blink your eyes open, if they're not already, I'm happy to say hello, see your faces and say hello. I know that you can see me, but I can't see you. But you're welcome to put anything in the Q&A. I know the chat is not enabled, but you're welcome to type anything into the chat where you're just like, hey, this is something that I'm navigating, or this is something that has been like, on top of my heart in terms of my creativity. You're welcome to tap that in. We have like 5 more minutes together. But other than that, I'm Shanila. Thank you to Fem House for having me, and also Backline for supporting mental health for creatives, and AAPI. There's all of this, representation and diversity. But I'm really excited that more wellness and overall holistic health, holistic well-being is considered as part of, what it means to be a creative. So we're not just like learning the hard skills, we're also learning like the soft skills that are harder often. We're learning the soft skills about like taking care of ourselves and like really dealing with common things like perfectionism and the creative blocks that come along in your creative pursuit. So thank you for having me, and hopefully we'll be able to do a bunch of other things in the future together. But if there are no questions or comments typed into the Q&A area, I'm just going to give you like another minute or so. If you are like thinking about typing, but you haven't just yet, you're welcome to take that time. You're welcome, Reva. Raven, amazing. Says, thank you, Shanila, for this quick and potent practice. This really resonated. Thanks for dropping in, Raven. Beautiful. What's difficult for you to breathe? Can you specify? Welcome, June. Nice to see you, June. Bye, Janae. What's like as a beginner, what's difficult for you to breathe? Can you specify like what do you mean? What's difficult for you to breathe? Like in terms of what makes it hard for your body to breathe? Yes. Okay. So what makes it hard for your body to breathe? See you, Cree. I love you, Cree. Okay, so what makes it hard for your body to breathe is being in survival programming. So anytime our nervous system wants to be in this like middle state, it's known as the flow state. But anytime we are existing in survival programming, we're either hyper activated, meaning that we're doing too much, or we're hypo activated, we're doing too little. So anybody who's like default is in survival programming, your body actually resists going into flow state. So you might actually notice that some people's bellies don't actually breathe all the way because there's emotions or stories or narratives that are held in the cellular memory of the stomach. In somatic healing, we call it casting. So anytime we've experienced something uncomfortable, we go and our body has clenched. So our body actually resists unclenching. So things like breathing, breath work, and breathing techniques, which are all actually different things. Breath work actually is a system to trigger your nervous system to break through the part that is that resistance. So for some people, it is not a physical resistance. They're just like, yeah, my body takes deep breaths into the belly, deep breaths into the chest, and I can exhale fully, taking all the time I need to. Some people's resistance is in the mind. They're just like thinking a lot, they're overthinking. Their body, even when their body's not panicking, the mind thinks that the body is panicking. So there's a psychosomatic connection between what's happening. And how that resonates with creatives is that anytime you're doing something and you're really excited about it, when your mind starts to panic, it sends those signals to your body. And when your body starts to panic, it sends those signals up to your brain. And essentially, the nervous system basically says it's not safe for me to be perceived. I need to control everything, or I need to shut down and hide. There's only two states, it's a control state or a shut down and hide state. So you might have like a default, or you're somebody who ping pongs. So depending on like where you sit on that like resistance scale, you're going to experience a specific type of resistance. And they're based on very predictable programming: trust programming, abandonment programming, guilt programming, and neglect programming. Beautiful. Thanks for asking that, Riva. Welcome, Cree. Alexander says, thanks for this. I'm still feeling all the tingles in my hands. I've been battling so many realizations and revolving around creativity and sexuality. Shake your ass, girl. Like, you gotta move your hips. And part of why we did this seated, and like if we got to do a full session today, I would have had you like move through the stomach, move through the hips. But stay in that realization where those tingles, yes, there's a scientific reason for. I told you about tetany. It's the carbon dioxide that's escaping from your fingers. But in wisdom traditions, the way that we look at breath work is also from an energetic perspective. So when things start to unclench, that casting thing that I was saying to you, Alessandra, or I was saying to Riva, that casting, when it starts to unclench, your body basically experiences colors, shape, and also sensations in the body as well. So when those sensations come, it's like they sometimes actually have meaning. And sometimes we find like, oh my gosh, my inner child has been sitting at the palms of my hands, and the tingling sensation is them talking to me. Sometimes we find the inner child hiding like behind a knee. It's in like weird random spaces. So if you're noticing like, okay, the idea is like around sexuality, and maybe even like renaming it to sensuality, like how your sensual self, like oftentimes sexuality is like for others and sensuality is for self. And depending on like your, perspective around that, you might even reframe it to sensuality and how that information is speaking to you through your breath. So I do hope that you come back and experience a little bit more. Sweet. Thanks, Susie. Susie says, thanks. Looking forward to learning so much more. All right, folks, I gotta catch flights, not feelings. I gotta go. Thanks to FemHouse for having me. Thanks to Backline for having me. And hopefully we do some creative sessions, not just through Mental Health Month, but keep the conversation around mental health, wellness, well-being, and some of these like inner work that is in the path of creativity going forward. All right. Contact me via Instagram at shanila.satar. Other than that, I will see you next time, friends. Ta-ta.